saw you worked at Bao's restaurant. Is that right?
He wish. My mom's a horrible cook, so I use her as my reference point.
It's called your mama horrible cook.
Yeah.
It's just like, so it's like all the liquid in your mouth. You're like,
Because I had someone say this to me the other day. One of my weaknesses is I'm not adventurous.
Yes.
Even half animals.
So like
Chicken.
no, fuck it, it's a dish.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Very-
In your
oh, yeah.
country. No, check.
Do a little test, make sure everybody's voices are the same.
Can you
Meow. Sorry, you're gonna have to live with that.
Good day and welcome back to Broken Rice. This is Belle, and as always,
We got Max here.
today's special guest. Okay, I'm gonna butcher. I keep butchering your name. How do you actually pronounce it? Anaïs.
Anaïs.
Anaïs
Gayao.
Gayao.
Van Manen.
You're practically our star anise today. I think we got some back here. You guys star anise? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
It could be
no, that's
anise or anus. I don't know.
anus,
Wow! What?
Just kidding.
I wasn't even thinking. Of
bro.
I was just like,
I felt bad for my star anise joke.
Sorry.
okay, I guess this podcast is going down well.
It's
Hold
one
on.
sip of wine. One sip of wine.
My
She's
face
loose
is red.
now.
Holy shit.
All right, so
And I'm drinking.
I guess how's everyone's weekends?
It's
Good.
Monday.
Wow. How was the weekend? Jeez, one sip and you're gone.
No, it's that wine, dude. It's been good.
What'd you get up to?
I've been working and testing dishes for pop-up soon.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
We're doing a pop-up?
We're allowed to know? You're allowed
Yeah,
to
yeah. It's
plug
gonna,
it.
Yeah, it's with bakes.
Ah, cool.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
When's that?
26th of August.
Nice. What is the kind of like concept? for you?
It's a Maison Mathilde concept.
Okay.
So basically, my mother's name is Mathilde.
Ah.
So it's Vietnamese French food because that's
Nice.
how I grew up with. And so it's going to be like, I don't know, French looking food with a lot of flavor, Vietnamese flavors. And yeah.
Right.
So
so
you're right.
weird.
You were born in Paris.
Yeah.
And where does that Dutch come into it?
So I'm 1/8 Dutch.
Right.
Okay.
So my father was a quarter Dutch
Okay.
from his father, from his mother's side.
Yeah.
And his mother kept the family name because she thought it would be resourceful, and it was when time came to leave the country.
Right.
So yeah, so that's where it comes from.
And then you grew up in Paris as well?
No, I grew up here.
Oh, at what age?
We came back here when I was like 3, so in '94.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was like right at the Moi, the opening
Yeah.
of Vietnam, and while everybody wants to get out, my parents
Why they gotta
decided
come back.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, let's go back."
Yeah.
and so
Right.
they did, and yeah,
And then, so you did schooling here as well?
Yeah.
For how long was that?
until I graduated. So I was,
Oh, so the whole
Yeah.
like primary, elementary.
Yep.
Wow.
but I was quite like because of my passport, because I was born French.
Yeah.
I could go to the French school here.
right.
So,
Okay.
so that was interesting.
Yeah.
Because it was like you're living in Vietnam, but you're not really living in Vietnam because you're just in this French bubble.
Ah. So yeah, I always see like outside schools, obviously around lunchtime or like morning tea. Everyone goes home for like lunch or
Yeah.
whatever. Is that did you eat at that school?
So
was it like a boarding school? or
we
something?
had to. No, it was like it wasn't a boarding school, and it wasn't. Now it's in D9, but back in the day it was in 3 different locations.
Okay.
So like Cách Mạng tháng 8, Phạm Ngọc Thạch, và Hai Bà Trưng.
Yeah.
Which means so you sometimes I would go home, but as I get older and I was like, oh, I want to be with my friends, we went to KFC. And the KFC
Yeah.
here hits the spot. Like
Really?
Yeah, because they have rice.
So like rice and fried chicken.
Rice and fried
Rice,
chicken.
fried chicken, even soup, and
Yeah.
also gravy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't really tried KFC yet. I think I went once or twice.
You would never cheat on McDonald's, so it's not like.
Well, McDonald's fried chicken is amazing.
Okay.
The nuggets, but the rest.
You haven't had McDonald's fried chicken?
Well, which one?
Like the hot fried chicken at McDonald's?
No, I go to KFC.
Well, that's what I
I-
mean. You got to try the McDonald's one.
The one here.
The one here.
Okay.
It's It's amazing. It's delicious. So I guess you had the luxury of growing up and eating Vietnamese food here, no?
Yeah, so that was like the one part I was very Vietnamese in my household was
Right.
eating Vietnamese food. But then as soon as I step out, I was first of all I was seen differently because I was living in a very Vietnamese area. But obviously they knew we came back from France, so all the kids kind of like, oh, she's a Viet Kieu.
Yeah.
Or, and then I would spend most of my time around French kids or expat kids as well.
Because they're all like your classmates.
Yeah.
So it's not a school where I guess locals could go.
Back then it was very difficult,
Right.
but now they're open to
I guess you can pay the fees.
Well, the thing is, like, a lot of us were on scholarship. So I was on scholarship because it was just opening at that time, you know?
Right.
So it wasn't really about money.
Scholarship because you're a gifted kid?
That sounded like a very condescending gifted.
No, I don't know.
No, because I'm French.
Oh, the French get everything.
Yeah, because it was in the beginning. We were 11 in our class.
Yeah.
So it was more of like to maintain kind of like an education for every French people, every French person who came to Vietnam to work.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you grew up in Vietnam. And when did you start going overseas to work?
So I started when I was 19. I went to Singapore.
Okay, nice. And then when did you go to London? I saw you worked at Bao's restaurant. Is that right?
He wish.
Hey, they took my name. I'm still waiting for the litigation on that one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, your name after a bun.
Yeah, I was. No, the bun was named after me.
It matters what mood you get him in. Sometimes I like to call him Bao.
Yeah.
Security.
Yeah, so I went to London like in 2015. So that's like way afterwards.
Okay, gotcha.
And cooking has always been the thing?
No, I did study design, graphic design.
How'd that work out?
Oh, yeah, great.
Do you still use that craft, that skill?
I think so, because then I have
Nice.
like a specific aesthetic that I want. And then when I
that always
work with
helps.
designer,
Yeah.
we kind of understand. We have the same lingo, type of thing. And then, but obviously I'm not doing that anymore. All
Right.
those years of education.
But I think still having that skill set.
Yeah, so you
Yeah, that's
still.
what I say to my mom, so she doesn't feel bad about putting me to school.
Because when I look at Illustrator, I was like, what the hell is this? I have no idea what's going on.
It's still the same creative process, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Research.
Lots of research, really.
Yeah, I think a lot of like everything that I do go through research, and I think when we were in school, we had a creative process journal, and we just kept all our research there. And so when I cook, I tend to do the same thing. I try to have like a big chunk of research.
Yeah, you seem to be really busy with research.
That's all I do.
Yeah. So I guess you're doing a lot of research for even like you're looking into making a book. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm writing a book.
Right.
That's
About-
basically why you've moved back,
Yeah.
really, right?
Yeah, I think so. And also, I don't know, it's like after a while, I used to want to leave Vietnam and never come back because like in the 90s, Vietnam was really different from now.
Right.
Yeah.
There wasn't any pocket of people and it was just starting. But now there's so much going on and I feel the energy and it's something that I think it's so beautiful to see
Right.
in a way.
How long have you been back for now?
4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Settling in well?
Yeah.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, yeah.
Homesick at all? No? Okay.
No, I don't think I have. I don't know what homes
Where is home?
where
Yeah.
home is. I think you make it and
Yeah.
you surround yourself with the people that make it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you feel at home here?
Yeah, definitely.
How long have you been here?
Like 3 years, so. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Not that long, depending on how old you are.
That's true. I've been here a tenth of my life. You can do the math.
Well, yeah, you fully, I guess, made it home. You bought the cats and all.
Yeah,
Everything.
but- yeah.
Everything
the
you
cats,
have.
the cats.
Yeah.
We're talking
Everything.
about them finally.
How many do you have?
Two.
Too
Okay.
many.
Were their names?
Audrey
Uh-huh.
and Satoshi.
Okay, is that Audrey or Satoshi?
That's Audrey.
Okay.
Because she actually does that. She loves eating cải xanh and han lá. And then so she's like on the bench, well, looking at me while I'm testing, and she just
Yeah.
Just do that.
She like takes the quay corn or the
Yeah.
babia. She's like, that's
Yeah.
my babia.
Yeah, she eat vịt nướng chao.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she eats everything. I think she's the most well-fed cat. in Ho
She's
Chi
got the
Minh.
best palate.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess you spend most of your time now here
Yeah.
testing dishes for the book.
Yep. Because the book it's gonna be like 500 around 500.
500 recipes.
Christ.
What's the research like? Are you testing recipes or are you like going out in the streets and like finding stuff?
So the thing is, I'm gonna focus more on home cooking. Like, so I spend much more time cooking at home and be at home,
Yeah.
and then going out at the moment. So I've split into two, which is cooking the database, because I have like a database of like 600 titles, and then I just
God.
try to do as much as I can, and then
Yeah.
from there select and research even more by going and try different places.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I spend too much time eating out, I won't get anything done.
Right.
But then where are you getting that, I guess, the research or that knowledge? Is it from growing up, like memories growing up, or are you asking advice from like aunties, uncles, mums, grandmas?
Auntie's uncle.
Yeah.
I think there's something. There's a gold mine in that.
Yeah.
In that knowledge, because people here, they do everything themselves, especially like bigger families. They rather eat at home. They rather do everything, and I think they ferment anything that can ferment. They
Yeah.
will ferment it, and
Okay.
it's also very seasonal. So when I talk to people, they're always like, "Oh, we're only ferment this at this period of the time of the year."
Yeah.
So there's like so much to learn.
Yeah.
And I think because we're getting busier with work life and career, people are actually cooking less.
Yeah.
So I think it's great to be able to kind of preserve those knowledge eventually.
Do you find like your research, I know you said home cooking, but even a little making it more specific, is it like home cooking based out of Saigon or Southern Vietnam or
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
so all over Vietnam?
So I also split the titles by region, and then there's like, I'm gonna spend some time traveling next year. That's gonna be like the bulk research part, where I'll go like in September. I'm gonna go to Hayang, and I'm gonna
Oh,
stay.
beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay with also minorities.
Yeah.
Just because I think they're obviously in Vietnam. There's 54 minorities, and when
Yeah,
you
right.
go.
54.
Yeah, when you go to the library and you make your library card, they ask you which ethnic you are.
Yeah.
And if you're from, and also in terms of education, if you're from a minority that's different from kin, you get bonus point because you actually, you're coming from a more
What do you
secluded.
mean by bonus point?
So you get because it's a way to integrate them in the society here.
Okay.
To give them more chances.
Okay.
To include them, because they obviously have much more difficulty probably to access better education and so on. So if they do try to graduate and go to high school, the government is going to give them more points so that they can enter university and so on.
Yeah.
So I think,
Nice.
Any other high points for traveling that you're looking forward to the most?
I don't know. I just want to eat. I'm so sick
Right.
of cooking.
Okay. Anything you're looking forward to eating?
So I really want to eat. So they have this thing with corn made in the north with hamong, the men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's so weird but it's things that I just want to see the texture, and I love
Yeah.
corn, and I want to see how they make it.
Add lots of liquid.
That's okay, cool.
Because if you don't and you drink it, it's just like, so it's like all the liquid in your mouth. You're like,
Because there's so many varieties of corn up north. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, do you know Daniel from Songkai? Mm-hmm. He showed me like just a small fraction of what's available. It's like, holy, like, all I ever knew that was available here was like bap mi, which is like the US style
Yeah.
corn, but then
Or nap.
And nep?
Yeah, nep, yeah.
Yeah.
and then they had the,
Crazy.
So nep, I think, basically was. There's a story about how it came to Vietnam. About how this guy stole it and put it in his pocket from the Chinese and brought it back. Do you know? You look like you know because you're shaking.
I feel
your
like
head.
most stories that I've heard about like how things originate, if like
Did
somebody
someone's
stole
shoe,
it.
someone's sock.
Yeah.
I've heard the same thing about
Yeah.
like chocolate and stuff. Like I've heard like similar stories.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's there's like because it's old stories about the Jiaoqi time when the first period when the Chinese were in the northern of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Closer to the mic. where are you like in terms of like all this history and knowledge? Where are you able to like access these things? Because a lot of people say the cookbooks and stuff, like old cookbooks. Vietnam hasn't really had the history of like there's no like a Laos gastronomy or something like that. So.
I think I did a lot of research in France
Right.
because I was like Belgium is so near to Paris and Paris has like one of the biggest Southeast Asian library in
Right,
it. So they have
okay.
like old because they brought a lot of things back.
Yeah. Back.
Back.
Stole things back or
Yeah,
what?
I'm not sure about what I said, but they have books that they published during that time, so they
Right.
brought that.
Okay.
So you could go in and there's a lot of shit there.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to see, but at the same time, you kind of wanted to some of the stuff to be here, I suppose, and that it's a bigger conversation topic. And
Right.
Yeah.
So with the book you're about, what you're trying to do, how different is it, or how much more different is it compared to other books that are out there? Like, what are you trying to achieve with it, type of thing, or what's the goal?
So the main goal is for people like me to basically I consider myself as a second generation because my parents, I was born in Paris and my parents met there. And while growing up here, I was always surrounded by other kids than Vietnamese kids.
Right.
But the thing that connected me to this culture is food. And
Yeah.
that happens to for a lot of people. And I think for you too, it's you go home and you could have like an experience with like French kid and so on. But when you get home, you eat Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
And so I like for this book to kind of continue that and help and give an opportunity to all these kids like me who wants to learn more about our culture through food because that's what we know,
Yeah.
to have something to carry and to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like recipes that you can easily do at home, or like is it more complex recipe, like chefy type of recipes?
No chefy type of recipes. I think Vietnamese food is not trying to be chefy.
I mean,
What do
many
you
many
think
steps
about
and lots
that?
of cooking of Vietnamese food. I
There's
mean,
a lot of steps, but it's actually, if you have your shit together, you
Right.
can do it. You always have to have your shallots, garlic. Everything has to be there. And then when it cooks, it becomes just like a flow.
right.
And that's what I observe. It's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of steps, but if you look into it, if you have the bulk of the ingredient always ready in your kitchen, you
Yeah.
can always make a Vietnamese meal. And I think,
Oh, nice.
yeah. So what we're saying?
Like how different do you want this book to be compared to whatever else is on the market in terms of Vietnamese cookbooks?
I don't know. Like everybody has their own voice. I think
Yeah.
here I try to be as neutral as possible.
Yeah.
And for example, I like to have at least 10% dishes that you might not be able to redo, like chả rui, or like any dishes which is the Hanoian style omelet with seaworm. Is it seaworm or you look like you've eaten it?
I've eaten it a few times.
How is it?
I like it.
Yeah, but have you seen it alive?
Cái món chả dươi của tôi thì ai đến ăn thì cũng thấy thích.
Of course. I
you
mean,
make
if
it?
you go to a place like they should
Yeah,
have it in the bucket. I mean, if it was, I went to the wrong place if it was already dead and like they were cooking with it.
But I'm still like, there's dishes that, I had a thought, maybe I should do also chok dum. Like, I know, but it's part of
Part of the cat in you.
but it's part of our food, like people who live in the countryside still eat it and it's full of protein, but I'm not going to do it. Guys.
Right.
Don't worry. But yeah, there's so many dishes that you don't have the ingredients overseas. You will never be able to look at all the rau som that we have here. How the fuck Karen from Manchester find that?
Why'd you have to name a Karen?
That's my auntie.
Karen from, where are you from?
USA.
Karen from USA had to do it. It's really hot in here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just getting hot.
It's the wine. Cool. I think for me, just an outsider, I think definitely has. It's going to be a really refreshing book in terms of like Vietnamese cooking and cuisine, because knowing you and knowing your approach and how like basically you've invested all your time and effort into this. You've moved back here to do the research, to do the cooking, put everything back, like put everything in Europe on hold basically to do this. So I think it's going to be, I'm going to call it, could be one of the greatest Vietnamese cookbooks of all time.
We'll see.
Let's wait, because I don't know how to write. So,
But you'll have someone with you to do that. Or is this solely just you?
it's solely just me. So
okay.
the writing, I will have like a copywriter at the end.
Yeah.
But I think everything is under, like, I'm trying. You know what? Oh, it's so fucking annoying. It's like the testing is great. You're having so much fun. You're cooking. You're eating. But then comes writing how to do things. Chop your onion.
Right.
Stir fry. How long do you stir fry this? And you have to have like, there's pointers, and so it's really fun. But you've seen chefs' recipes. It's basically the list of ingredients and like 3 points,
Right.
and then you're like on your own, because in the kitchen you don't have time to read the recipes. But here I have to really think it through. I have to think. My mom's a horrible cook, so I use her as my reference point. How would my mom understand?
It's called your mama horrible cook.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She knows a lot about food,
Yeah.
but her cooking is not her forte.
Right.
So you didn't reach out to her about research for the book, or like?
Yeah. She is. She actually is. She knows a lot.
Yeah.
You know, she knows a lot about the Vietnamese culture on eating. Is your mom a good chef? Yeah, your mom is a great chef.
Whoa.
No, I have never
She
She
tried
didn't want to
her.
ask. She already knew the answer to mine or something. Like, what the heck?
You know how like I guess every chef has like a mentor or like someone they really look up to in terms of cooking, or a chef. That's my mom for me.
Okay.
Like she taught me everything I need to know about
What
Vietnamese
about?
culture, cuisine, everything. So I definitely wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for her, for sure. The podcast.
Same for me, because I was just so scared that she couldn't cook, and somebody else has to cook in the house.
You just had to, since you're a 3, you just had to just
I was like,
put it on.
PTSD from her fried rice.
You would have had a nanny. Come on.
Yeah, we did, and it was great. But I was just like, I'm not gonna be like those cookbook that says I learned it all from my mama.
Right.
It's
Yeah, there's a
more of
lot
a-
of those.
And
Like either I guess grandma or mum.
yeah, and the only thing I got was from my father, who loves to eat, and I
Yeah.
love to eat, and I realized being a chef
Yeah.
doesn't help that, because you earn so little, and that if I wanted to eat more,
Yeah.
I should have become a banker.
Yes.
Some
Or
stuff.
something else.
Yeah.
Story of life.
Story of my life for sure. But actually, I went the other way. I was in that finance world. I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to become a chef. I went total opposite.
You're the 1% though. You're a celebrity chef. You travel around the world to cook.
This title is going to I got to get rid of this title somehow.
And what would you do if you weren't doing YouTubes? Do you do something else?
I don't know. I probably would have actually gone to culinary school like I
Really?
almost did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I went to New York. I almost into
You were
like,
in medical.
yeah. And then I said I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
What part of medical?
I was about to go to medical school and I was like,
Oh.
no, not for me. Because I was just kind of like, oh, science, math, easy. I'll do this. And everybody tells you, be doctor, be doctor, be doctor. And you're like, okay. And you're like, ah. And you're about like, it got,
I'm trying to imagine you as a doctor now after that little like,
and then hey, people in the medical industry have some of the most messed up minds you'll ever talk to. They have some dirty, dark humor there. But anyways, I was like, not for me. I don't do it. I was like, maybe I'll like be a chef. So I like went and like all these culinary schools around the U.S. and like toured campuses and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, like 40, 50,000 a year. And then I get to and then I get to just like intern. And then like, when do I pay this off? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me, right? And I was like, whatever. I don't know what to do with my life. I'm just going to go where I feel like my heart's always... Because what ended up happening is I went to New York City
Yeah.
and ended up staying in Chinatown the whole week. I never went anywhere else. And I was like, well, okay, need to go to Asia. And so I went to Asia.
It's
And
got the yellow fever. Sorry.
not the
you
mosquito
have
one.
And then your publisher, are we allowed to say who your publisher is? Because it's a pretty big.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Don't hate me, please, guys. Yeah, it's Feidon.
That's how you pronounce it.
I think so.
Feidon.
I don't know.
always-
Feidon?
I thought it was. I pronounce it as
Feidon.
Feidon.
I don't know because
Feidon.
Feidon. Feidon. Now,
And you're working with these people?
yes.
Okay.
Because I guess their more recent books are always like moving towards like country centric.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot who did the Australian one.
Bill something Hornsby.
Bill Hornsby.
I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like an Australian
Sounds like a
name.
Bill.
It sounds like a Bill.
Oh, Billy Mates.
He sounds great, Bill.
But yeah, it's got like, but yeah, again, yeah, they're like 500 recipes deep.
Yeah.
Really thick ones, and they're very. I don't know. It's cool,
Yeah.
and for you to get to that opportunity, congratulations. It's amazing.
It's so scary. I
Right.
don't know. I think it's it's like a musician making an album. It feels the same because it's something that is it's a material
Yeah.
it will live beyond me.
But do they
Wow.
give you any like guidelines or like parameters that you have to stick to, or
Definitely like the way that they want the recipes to be written. But then I pitch it, so
Yeah.
I gave them how I see it,
Yeah.
how it will be, and
Yeah.
so they kind of went with it, and so they're letting me do what I need to do.
nice?
To do.
I think having that direction's pretty important.
Mm.
Because I've been approached a couple of times, and I'm like, I have no idea how to even like. I don't even know what I'm cooking. I don't know how to put what I do into a cookbook. So I was just like, maybe not in this time and moment. I don't know. Yeah.
I understand. It's like at the moment you're also. How long have you been back here?
I've been here since 2020, but in and out. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard because you're at the moment doing pop-ups and you're just
Yeah, and all those pop-ups, they're all like, none of the
Different.
pop-ups have been the same.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still like, I have an idea of what I'd like to cook, but the pop-ups don't give me that parameter. They're either like, oh, you either do a Chinese thing or you do a vegan thing or you do like tasting course set menu type of thing. And it's just like, they're all different. And I love cooking that stuff, but then I'm cooking all these different things and whatever I do like for content and stuff, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So how do you even put that in a book? Or how do
Yeah.
you tell a story with that?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you are the person like finalizes the menu the day of the pop-up too.
that's
you?
that's something. Well,
cannot
okay.
do that. Like I would just
Well, for me, it's
die.
also because these pop-ups are in like different cities, different countries, and like you're saying, like produce is so different everywhere. So you might want to do one thing, but you get there, they don't have it, and I don't want them to chase it because it's sort of defeats the purpose of like as a chef cooking with what's around you, cooking what's available. If you're constantly chasing for things, it's sort of like, well, you're not really cooking influenced by that. You're somewhat not cooking seasonality, if that makes any sense. You're forcing something to be on a menu that maybe isn't grown in certain areas. So yeah, it's hard. So that's why I got one next week in Bangkok. I have an idea of what the menu could be, but then I don't want to finalize it because if I send all these things off and they don't have it, then it's sort of pointless. So get there, go to the market, find what's cool, what's nice, and then just do a menu from that.
yeah, that's cool. I think, do you not ever have this idea and then you get there and then they get you the ingredient and then you try and it tastes like shit?
No, because he's an amazing cook.
Well, like I'm
Well, like
always
it doesn't taste the way you want it. You visualize
It's-
it. You know?
that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But I always have like, the same flavor profiles are always going to be there. They don't vary too much. It's like the plating is going to be a little bit different, or the portion or whatever is going to be a little bit different, or you add something that's in season, then you add it, it'll work. So I had someone say this to me the other day. One of my weaknesses is I'm not adventurous, but I was like, I get what they're trying to say, like because he was saying like my food could be like a lot, not better, but like I guess more standout-ish or like a bit more crazy if I took that leap. But for me, is sometimes if you know it works, why fuck it up? Especially
agree.
you go to another country, and like you only have like 2-3 days to cook. Why go for something that might not work? You know, unless it's your own plate. Yeah, if I had my own restaurant right now, had plenty of time to like develop a dish, then yeah. But if I'm constantly doing pop-ups at all these different countries and cities, I'm just gonna keep doing what I think works, and I know what the crowd will be okay with, instead of like just throwing something out there that people are like, ugh.
Yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't want to be in a position where you're unhappy and at the same time you're very stressed,
Yeah.
and it doesn't become a pleasant moment for everybody.
sure.
And I think the thing is that there's so much pop-ups these days, and
Yeah.
people we're trying so hard to stand out.
Yeah.
But I think the pop-ups that works quite well in London and I've seen is much more comfort and home cooking
Yeah.
focuses, because at the end of the day also that's what people kind of want in our
definitely.
day and age, you know. It's
Yeah.
like we have all so many good fine dining, etc., but people, because we don't have so much time cooking at home,
Yeah.
maybe comfort is actually what we're looking for the most.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, let those restaurants are constantly trying to like
Yeah.
blow minds. Let them do that, because they have the parameters to
Yeah,
do it.
definitely.
If you don't, then just it's not about playing safe, but when
Smart.
you're being smart, being smart, but also
smart.
you got to enjoy your time while you're doing it as
Exactly.
well. So that's the sort of the main purpose of doing pop-ups, is to be in a different environment, but also enjoying that environment you're gonna be in. So
Yeah, to find the right balance is
Yeah.
difficult, and it's like you do want to impress people, but you also just there's a boundaries that there's so much you can
Yeah.
do in, sometimes you don't even know how the kitchen looks like, you don't know who's helping you,
yeah,
and I think that's so stressful. Every time I do a pop-up, there's like a point that I will always regret doing it, and then I'll get back and it's okay, and then I have but there's always that
Yeah.
point where you're just like, why did I did this to myself? I could be just doing something, no?
100%. This is me all the time.
Yeah,
Like, I keep telling myself, why the fuck do I do this to myself? Okay, next year, no more pop-ups. Next month,
Exactly.
no more pop-ups. The next thing you know, I get an email, get someone calls me. I was like, yeah, why not?
It's like, yeah, maybe we're a little bit masochist. Masochist? No.
Is that a French word?
What?
No, people who like pain to themselves? No, how do you say it in English?
know. Maybe-
S&M. The S for sadism and the M for...
Don't know.
Oh, yeah, I really don't know.
No,
I
really,
don't.
no. Masochist, no.
Yeah. How about we take a little break and, and research
figure this
it
out.
and come back?
Oh my gosh. I mean, yes, it's PG-13, not R though. Where are we going with this?
We can go real deep.
Okay, what's that word? So the word was... Oh, wait, it's on mute.
Masochist.
Which means a person who derives who derives sexual gratifications from their own path of humiliation.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
French word to
Sounds
me.
like you.
Jeez, thanks for airing my dirty laundry. I guess we keep talking about
Pots? What?
pop-ups.
You really got him with the mashkashish.
I'm flush now.
That's the wine.
So you've been doing you were doing a fair bit of pop-ups in and around mainly London.
Yeah, in London, in Berlin, in Belgium as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I guess cooking wise, you first started in Paris and things, but you always you weren't cooking Asian food, were you?
No. I was cooking French food because you're in France, and then I
Yeah.
went to like this. The good thing about being French is that a lot of the education is free. So you have Ferrandi and Cordon Bleu, but I went to the free school, and I was.
Right, okay.
And that was pretty cool too. You
Yeah.
know, it's pretty old school.
Yeah.
And you do 2 days at school and then 3 days, 2 days at school and then 3 days in a restaurant.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
I guess the main notable places you were at Bones
yeah. That
with
was,
old mate James Henry.
yes.
What was it like working with James?
It's great.
Don't worry, he's not gonna listen to this one.
No, I learned so much
Yeah.
how to just push through.
You all right?
No, it was great because we had an amazing team and everybody took care of each other.
Yeah.
And everybody was passionate and everybody came from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So it was great. And the place was always buzzing. And I think that's amazing.
Buzzing because it was James or the food was good?
Because of both.
James is a really good friend of mine.
Yeah. Well, if you cook
Good looking,
staff meal
good looking
though,
guy.
Yeah.
Like you look at him, he's like, this guy's a model, but I think he was a model. Or something like
He has like model eyes.
that. Yeah.
hunter's eyes, like
Like,
Yeah,
like the, what's that movie? Zoolander.
yeah.
With Blue
Oh,
Steel.
okay, nice.
He's got that eye. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
You know,
You
don't see
tell
it?
you tell him that. You tell him
Okay,
that and
I'll
see
do it.
how he reacts.
I'm going
to
to
it.
see him in a couple of months. So.
Yeah.
And then how'd you find your way to Auberge de Chachignol? Is that how you pronounce
Chassignol.
it? Chachignol.
I just postulate.
Yeah.
Is that
How
how you
did
say?
that place become so like, I guess, popular or no? Because it's like in the middle of nowhere.
I think people just want a breath of air. Like
Yeah.
people just, in general, everywhere people tend to want to go outside
Yeah.
of their city for a bit, and it gives you like the perfect location. There's 11 people who, back in the day, there were 11 people living there, and then the
Yeah.
rest it was just traveler, and also auberge
Yeah.
are mainly for people going down south and then they have to make a pit stop.
Yeah.
So it's a great pit stop before you go to Clermont-Ferrand,
Yeah.
Bordeaux.
It's
what's
after Clermont-Ferrand.
We.
I guess if
Oui.
you're coming from Paris. Huh? It's after. Wait.
I don't know.
Clermont- Yeah. That's what I mean. Like when we were going to go there, I think it was last year, but then it was like, it's actually not that, it's not really on the way. Sort of is on the way, but not on the way to anything.
It's an adventure.
Yeah. So I'm just always been surprised because obviously there's 1,000 auberges in
Yep.
France. So
But none.
I was
But
just curious why, like,
the natural one, I guess, because it was started by an Englishman, Harry Lester, and then Peter brought it
right,
over.
Okay. That
And
makes sense.
But
then.
you know what?
I didn't know that.
When I was there, it was
Yeah.
great. There was nobody. No, I'm
Yeah.
just. It means like we would cook for like 6 people,
Yeah.
20 people, and that was great because we had like huge breaks, and we would go to swim at the lake. But now it's very busy. Now it's become very, very popular. But
Yeah.
the amazing part of this place is that they have a little garden. So and then you also could butcher your own. Like we would get half animals in, and then you will have to process.
You mean half animals?
So
Half
like
a chicken?
no,
No, like half a cow.
half a cow, half a
Yeah.
veal. Yeah,
Right,
And then they get to butcher it and break it
yeah.
down.
But I did learn how to
Butcher.
Slit a throat.
slit a throat there for chicken and lamb.
Yes.
Yeah. So and I think that's really rewarding.
Yeah.
When as a chef, to be able to do that is kind of like to understand how your food
Yeah.
comes from. And sorry, vegan, but that's
Yeah.
that has been part of our life for
What dishes
ages.
did you do with the blood? Like over here, you do like
chicken.
tikkan and stuff like that. Anything you can do
Delicious.
with that over there?
Blood pudding
Blood
you could do, but like not with the blood of the chicken. We didn't do anything with that.
Yeah,
And you could for lamb you can do faggots, right? Haggis.
Haggis. Yeah.
No, faggot is a dish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Very-
Not in your
oh, yeah.
country. No, check it out.
Actually, you know, in Australia, it's a cigarette.
Oh,
I think it is a cigarette. Pretty sure because there used to be a lolly. I call it
a
candy.
lolly. Like what
In-
kind of candy?
It actually okay. Trying to go from
How do you
memory.
eat it? Do you
looked
suck
like
it?
looked like a packet of cigarettes, and the label was faggots. So I think that's where it came from, as in people labeling cigarettes in Australia faggots. I'm pretty sure. Can I have a fag?
Yeah, have a fag.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel very offended.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just quickly move on.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not sure we should put
Anyways,
that in.
So what did you like to make for a staff meal?
Air.
Air?
Just kidding.
When did
No, seriously though, like working in London and stuff, like did you were you ever in charge of staff meal?
Yeah, like I've done horrible staff meal and then better staff meal.
You do like Vietnamese home cooking?
Yeah, I did. So I think I still have PTSD about it because like the first staff meal I did at Bones was like adobo, pork belly.
Why-
Because that's
why-
Filipino. Because
why-
I was
They're
like,
like, oh, you're Filipino.
no, because I was obsessed about it. But then I just left the black pepper whole, so it was really not pleasant. Yeah, live and learn.
Yeah.
But then like the last staff meal I made was pho.
Yeah.
So I remember doing that, and everybody helped out. So that was really fun.
would that be your most memorable staff meal?
No,
Which one would it be? Where?
I don't know. I have a very short-term memory. I don't really want to remember the past.
Oh, that bad, huh?
No, I'm just kidding.
And I guess the most notable one that you were the, I guess, research and development chef for Bao London.
Bowland. Yeah.
How did that come about?
I just applied.
Oh, really?
No, it's just.
But this
because-
was like the opening phase, right?
No, because
you
they already had several ones. But the thing is, I applied, and because I lived in Singapore, I had some sort of knowledge of Asian cuisine, and I think it's difficult. Like, you're in the UK. What?
That's such a bad comment.
I know.
I was
it's
in
not.
Singapore, but like Bao's so different from Singaporean.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's not about the cuisine itself. It's
Right.
about it understanding
Okay.
the way people eat
Yeah.
and understanding. And it's come back to Vietnamese food. It's understanding what are the flavor profile that you're looking. It's not about the food itself.
Right, okay.
Like the way that, like in Asia, in Southeast, like we eat differently from in the West. In terms of in Vietnam, we eat the mắm cơm, and there's so many dishes. And how do you translate that to somebody in the West who never had that? So it's harder for a person who doesn't understand the culture to be able to develop and research on the food, because where do they start?
Right.
So that's what I meant.
Right.
It's I don't know. It's just it does make sense, no?
Yeah. You put it that way for sure.
It's just
Then did you go to Taiwan a bit for
Yeah,
that
then.
research? Nice.
Afterwards, yes.
Yeah.
But at first, like I didn't know that much about Taiwanese food, and Urchin really taught me about it. But you has to know as well that Singapore has a big community of Teochew. They have Hokkien, and all of that also influenced in the food of Taiwan and China. So it's all connected in a way, because
Isn't Taiwanese food more like Fujian province though?
Yeah, they have a bit of, I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
Research and development here.
Hey, it's been a long time. A lot of shit gone through, and I don't remember the
I'm just messing with you.
I definitely love like the whole, I guess you can call it marketing, or how it's been done. The whole Bao concept.
yeah.
It's like the character, like the logo itself is like
The
so
name is
synonymous.
amazing name, right?
It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, I think because
It's like it's quite like, you look at it, it's like quite simple, but somewhat classy at the same time, and it's something that you can easily grab and just put into another place.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also because they what I really love from working there is they don't think like restaurateur. They don't think like chefs. They come from a fine art background.
Yeah.
And with that you have a different perspective, you have a different vision, and you see food differently. And the way that we did our research, a lot of time it was also about the visual language. And so it's a different process, and I learned so much from my time there, because they were so different, they stood out, but they were also very true to what they came to do.
Yeah.
So they managed to put Taiwanese food on the map, and they managed to, now they have a noodle shop, now they have a dumpling focus shop, but it's all connected to Bao at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the flavor, even though it doesn't look like a dish that you would find in Taiwan, we tried to be as respectful as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess just quickly on pop-ups, there's more pop-ups happening in Saigon or in Vietnam at the moment. Anything that has really I guess stand out to you, or like what do you see happening here? Do you think more are gonna happen, or so someone commented me the other day
That you're not adventurous.
No, well, that too, but also they feel like it's overdone. But I'm just like, how can it be overdone when it's only just started? I think some people are already sick of it. I guess maybe because they don't get invitations to things. I don't know, but
Wow. Meow.
I don't know. But like, where do you see this going? Because I think pops.
Who are these people that you hang out with?
I don't hang out with. They just comment and they just send me messages.
Why do you even read them? No, I understand. I think
Because I think they're cool because it gives younger chefs a platform, because like you don't have to, like, it's a small investment for both a hosting restaurant or the chef themselves to figure out what they want to share with the city or with the country. So I don't know. I think more of it's going to happen, and I'm excited
Definitely.
for it. I just hope that the public support it, I guess.
I think, again, who are the public here that goes to pop up? At the end of the day, still quite a small amount of people.
It feels like it's still the same crowd that attends
Yeah.
and goes. Yeah.
So I think it's a bigger conversation when I think pop-ups will happen and continue, and we need to reach out to more people. So we need to come out that these people who get bored of pop-up is
Yeah.
because they're part of the scene.
Yeah.
But I think as the F&B industry grows, and also people are more and more foodie and they want to try more things, we're going to reach out to more foodies,
Yeah.
and that will be better.
Yeah.
But right now it's still a scene.
Yeah.
It's still a small scene, and it takes time. You
Yeah.
can't just rush things.
Yeah.
And to be where we're at now, 10 years ago there wasn't that here. Like, not 10 years ago, when I was growing up, there wasn't any of that. So it's never too much pop-up, I think, because it's
100%. I think
Yeah.
there's never too much, because it's always going to give people different experiences. That it's not the same as going to a restaurant.
yeah
It's something different.
exactly.
And I think that's what people want here somewhat, because even if at a restaurant, a lot of complaints, people say, oh, it's still the same menu. I was like, well, why can't it be the same menu? People always expect new dishes, new things, like every
It's a
couple of
cultural
months.
thing, though.
Yeah.
And it comes into music as well, because there hasn't been, in Paris, there has been a long culture of eating out, of dining and
Yeah.
having a restaurant. It's a restaurant city. Here, we're just starting that. And so, like music, because we don't have that culture, we just want to go and move on to the next new thing.
Yeah.
And so we're always wanting more. But at the end of the day, a lot of people always, as well, come back to what feels good. Like, I want to go back to a place for a specific dish sometime,
Yeah.
or because they have good vibes, or consistency.
Right. That's a good point about the history of like dining out. At the end of the day, like maybe people who grew up in Vietnam are more used to going to maybe eating that street food or be going to a cafe.
Yeah.
Like how many people go to cafe late at night
No,
in
but
Vietnam?
majority are okay with those places staying where they are.
Yeah.
But it's more like the restaurants. They want restaurants to constantly evolve.
Yeah, because it's a new thing
Yeah.
coming here, for like the Quang.
Yeah.
They love to go back. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
People love to come back to something that's good.
Yeah.
But now, because restaurant is such a new thing, the F&B industry
Yeah.
is such a new thing as
Yeah.
it is. It's no longer Quang
Yeah.
and Nyahang. It's
Yeah.
like more new izakaya and so on.
Yeah.
People only want new thing because we're just in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it was when it settled itself
Yeah.
into the landscape,
Yeah.
then I think people then will make decision of which one they like the most, and they
Yeah.
will go then becoming more.
Like filter out
Yeah,
what works,
exactly.
what doesn't
Pick
work.
its identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you traveled around a lot. And I mean, you did grow up in Vietnam. Like I said, you had a unique experience and then you went overseas. Anything that maybe you've learned about Vietnam since coming back that you're like, man, I totally had that wrong, or that's like it surprised you?
So loaded, that question.
That
Yeah,
loaded
yeah.
question. That's right.
I don't know.
And just like anything, like, I mean, you've been back 3 months, or just maybe there's things like, oh man, I don't remember it like that, or man, that's not how I remembered it, or maybe new ways you're seeing.
I used to think things has to be a certain way,
Yeah.
and now I'm just taking it easy.
Right.
As in, like, I take it, and before making a judgment, or before making a having like to critic why they're doing this way, I try to take 3 steps back and ask myself, why are they doing that? Why are they behaving like that? Why are they, and it's everywhere, not just in Vietnam. There will be always something that kind of like frustrate us and all, but we need to understand the circumstances and
Yeah.
be a bit more, a bit less critical. And I think the world that we live in now, it's so easy to be critical, especially online. And it's so easy to voice out things that we don't have time to kind of like just have a think through before you say anything, basically.
Nice. That was a deep answer. I was not expecting a deep answer. I was trying to do it like a lighthearted question. It went really deep.
When I heard, I was like, wow.
No, I was just curious.
I was
what
like, you want to
different.
go deep? I'll go deep, babe.
Yeah. Wow.
I guess,
Alright.
yeah, I guess if we take it there I think we can, I guess, close this out. So we always ask, we call it, what did we call it again?
Last call.
The last call.
The last call.
The last call. So I guess it's,
What can it be?
The floor is yours. If any advice you want to give our listeners, or
Do I rap? No.
anything. The floor is yours, and a plug, or we already plugged your book, so.
I
Any
don't know,
advice?
man. It's a little bit cringe, no?
No, it's
Keep
not.
pushing.
So
Whatever
wait,
you want to say.
So whatever I want to say. Meow, meow.
That could be it. I opened that one.
What about you? What's your last call?
What would my last call be?
Push your boundaries.
No.
Be more adventurous.
Mine would be like something along the lines of like, just stop giving a fuck. Like the only person that you should really, I guess, listen to is yourself, even though sometimes yourself is the worst person to listen to. But just who cares what people think? Just do your shit, do you, and you'll find a crowd. That's it.
Man.
Is that the slow clap? No, because like at the end of the day, like don't let things. Most of the time when people ask me, it's like, I won't lose sleep over things. Just
Don't think
let-
too much.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know. Take your chances. I don't know. Chill out. Also, career is not everything. Like I'm super happy to be a housewife.
not bad.
No, I'm just. I think for a long time I was obsessed with like, okay, I need to be somebody here
Yeah,
in this
same.
scene and so on. And I
Exactly.
think it's all an illusion. I think if you're cooking, think about why you're cooking. I cook because I enjoy having my friends over.
Yeah.
They can eat, they can talk, and just keep true to your values. And if you want to cook because you want to be somebody, fine, but be true to your values and be happy about what you're doing and don't do it for another person. I guess it kind of go with what you say, but also like don't work too hard. Like hey, I love not working. Like it's just because
Just throw in like an English accent just there. I love not working.
I don't know. It's like work is not everything.
Yeah.
You learn so much
Yeah.
outside of it, and yeah.
You heard it here first. Go quit your job.
No.
Well, thank you for joining us today
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
sharing out a little bit
Can we
about
go eat
yourself.
now?
Definitely. Yes, we
Starving.
will. Definitely the star Anaïs of today.
Yes, and hopefully
Thank you.
you'll come back and chat
Part
to us
2.
more. And hopefully we get an invitation to one of your home testing dinner
Oh yeah,
thingy-jigs,
it's lunches.
lunches, anything.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay
Hopefully.
too.
Hopefully we're
Okay.
good enough one day. But thank you for tuning in, and that's all from us. See you on the next one.
Meow meow meow. He's not laughing.